Hi everybody, we're going to get started with November Club Q. The kit we're working on right now is item number DP1596 and it's called Give Thanks with a Grateful Heart. I love these colors for fall. It's not often that we throw in blues for fall, but I love this one. It still has the oranges and yellows and the golden colors. The chalking inks that we suggest are Fall Leaves and Deep Sea, which you can use any of the oranges. If you like a brighter orange, there's Candy Corn. If you like something a little softer, there's like Terracotta. You can also add in some yellows into this. Any of the blues would work. There's Navy. This one has Deep Sea. Blue Moon would be really nice. That's a nice dark blue. Or you can use some of the lighter blues too. So you choose your inks and we are going to get started. As always, I'm going to start with the cutting diagram. And there's actually not a diagram. It's just two pieces that need cut. And I always try to do the cutting first, get all of that out of the way. I want to mention a couple of things here. So the two pieces that you cut are the two longer plaid pieces. One is 5 inches, one is 4 3/4. So if you put them together, actually I'll turn one over so you can see. You can see this one's just a slightly bigger. So this 5-inch one and the 4 3/4. We're going to cut the 4 3/4 first. We're going to cut that into 4 pieces. So it's already at 4 3/4, or 3 pieces, I'm sorry. It's already at, oh no, it is 4. I'm sorry. It's already at 4 3/4. So we are going to cut it at 3 inches, 3 inches, 3 inches, and then that gives us 4 of the same size pieces. Move my cutter in here. So grab the 12 by 4 3/4, and we are just going to trim that every 3 inches. Put it in at 3, trim, 3, trim, 3. And feel free to stop the video at any point to either get caught up or to chalk things up if you want to. Okay, so we have 4 3-inch by 4 3/4. I'm going to set those aside. I also punched out all of my, well, most of my die cuts. So if you wanted to pause and punch out your die cuts, you can, or you can just do it as you go. Okay, so this is the 5 by 12 that we're doing here, and we're going to cut it into 3 3 1/4 by 5 pieces. So it's already at 5 inches. We're going to cut it at 3 1/4. Okay. Put this in 3 1/4. Trim. 3 1/4. Trim. And then 3 1/4. And you have a little piece left over. Okay, so I'm going to set these to this side. You also have one other one, so you just cut 3. You had one other one already in your kit for you. I'm going to keep those separate from the smaller ones so I know which ones to grab. Okay, so I'm going to get my background papers out. Put my trimmer away. We don't need that anymore. Get my background papers going. And this one, I think I'm going to put both of them out and work on it at the same time. Making sure that's in the shot there. I'm going to work on these at the same time. get this stuff ready. On page 1, we are going to layer up our words. So we need the background give that's in yellow and the background thanks. Oops, where did it go here? Oh, I covered it up. Okay. In the background, thicker letters for thanks in white. And I'm just going to kind of lay these out here for right now. I'm not going to glue anything down quite yet. I'm just going to get things lined up so I know where they go. And then your orange letters that you punched out, sometimes this is why I leave it in. This time I actually punched it out, but it makes it easier to kind of read. I don't need that R yet. Because I got these all mixed up and now I have to find the bigger letters that spell out heart. It's the smaller letters that go in the thanks. Like there's this other T in there as well in orange, but that goes in the other word, heart. So it might take a second just to sort these out. I should have stuck with my original plan to not punch everything out, and I didn't. Then you can kind of see. So A goes over here for heart. And you can either chalk these up as you go or not chalk them at all. You can chalk the white if you want to before you put these on, or you could glue these together and chalk all around it as well. So for these skinny letters, I'm going to use this Barely Art glue, which I love. It has a little precision tip. It comes with 3 tips. This is the one that I mainly use, is this real precision tip, because it makes it super easy for skinny little pieces like this. You also don't have to do the entire letter. What I do is I put a few dots wherever I can where there's bigger pieces, and that's really all you need to be able to make it stay on the page. Just a few dots there. You don't have to glue the entire thing down. The glue gets a little messy when you start doing that. But what I love about this glue is that it actually holds really well. So once you get it tacked down with a few little dots here, it's going to stay in place. And with this kit, what I'll do is I'll kind of get this all lined out, and then I'll go back through and glue things down. A lot of times I do that so that I can see if I need to for my pictures, if I need to move things around a little bit so nothing's covering my photos. Okay, so you should have white letters for the give part, which I actually stopped and I kept these in so I didn't get these all mixed up. And my dog's saying hi to you guys. He's outside really wanting in. So I left these in my die cut so that it was easy to see where it goes without getting the letters mixed up. Also, again with these, chalk them up if you want to. I might add a little color to these. I don't think I did in my sample. I left it completely white, but it's totally up to you. Then I left grateful for when I do page 2. So I'm going to chalk this up a little bit. And I have, let's see, for orange, I have Mango Mai Tai, which this is one of our most popular oranges. It's one of the very first colors that we came out with years and years ago. But it is so popular that we just keep it around. So that does look nice. And chalk all these up a little bit. Just some of the ends here. Just around the edges a little bit. This Mango Mai Tai has been well loved, so it's running out of ink a little bit, but it's I like the look of it. When the chalkings start going out a little bit, drying out a little bit, it gives it more of a chalky look even. So I'm going to hang on to that mango because I love the color that it gives right now. And if you wanted to, you could go ahead and go through and do all of your letters, get those all lined up and put together. It's a pretty simple kit to put together. This is the most tedious part of it, is actually getting the letters lined up with what they need to go onto. And the rest is pretty easy, just kind of layering layering the backers and a few pieces on there. And then the leaves that are in there, you can go by the directions, by the photo and the directions, or you can spread them out however you like. So if you have your photos on there and you know that you have a little more space, maybe on the corner of a photo or something, you use those leaves wherever it works best for you. Okay. Put this on. And grateful. Let me grab that. I was going to hold off, but I think I'm just going to put all these letters on. It just makes it easy, and then you have your words ready to go. And again, if you want to chalk that up, a blue would be really pretty on this one because we have more blue on this page with those words. And I just use a very little bit of glue because once you get it in your page protector, this glue is going to hold it on pretty well. And it's not going to really be messed with much once it's into your page protector too. So just a little bit here and there is fine. And I'll get the last few letters here. My son went outside to play with my dog to keep him busy, but now I can hear him. So if you hear him singing in the background, he thinks nobody can hear him. Little does he know he has hundreds of people watching the video listening to him. Okay. And the last one. And then these words will be easy to move around, tuck things in later behind them. I did have a little Christmas music playing for you. Must have went off. I know some people are all about waiting till after Thanksgiving. I, however, am not. I tend to, the day after Halloween, my kids turned on some Christmas music for me when I woke up, and I loved every minute of it. Okay, so we have these frames. The inside of the frame is actually just an extra piece, so you can use that for tags or, you know, a little photo backer from another page. And a lot of times I know we use these negatives and use every part of the laser, so we always tell you don't throw anything away. These we are not using. We're just going to have the frames here. And then we are going to cut the tags that fit behind these frames. And to get pictures behind these frames, what I would do is take the frame, lay it on your picture, and trace around the outside. Cut your photo, put a little bit of glue around here, and then just put your photo behind there. Okay, so we are actually going to make the tags, and we have three that we cut, and they are 3 3/4 by 5. So 3 3/4 by 5, and this is what we're going to put our little frames on. To make our tag, I'll show you here. The easiest way to do it is, grab my scissors. So the easiest way to make your tag is to fold the two corners together at top. You don't want to crease it. This doesn't need a crease, but put the two corners together at the top and then just trim at an angle, and then it makes a perfect little tag there. And what I would do to get them all to look the same, I would line up your next tag right behind it, flush with the bottom, so that they all have the same angle of cut, and just trim those off right there so that they match. And you do that with all 3 of them. Get these out of the way. And you have one more, put right behind there. Trim that off. And then these are your tags that will go on to your second page. I'll put these down a little bit. And this is where I kind of like to get things lined up a little bit before I totally glue them down. Spaced out evenly across there. So each one can be, you know, about an inch from the edge. Space those out. You put your pictures in behind here. If you are just putting the frame down, make sure that you don't just glue the frame down, because then you won't be able to get a picture in later, unless you want to put your picture right over top of it. Okay, and since we already got started on this page, I think I'm just going to finish out this page. So you have 2 orange banner pieces. You want the shorter one on the first page, the longer one on the second page. And I'm just going to center this. And I put it, whoops, you can go ahead and glue those down if you want to. And then I put it, I have it centered, and then I put it so that it just barely, you put it about in the middle of the page, but from top to bottom, so that the word with overlaps just slightly on your tags. Your A goes next here. Grateful after that, just right below that. And then you have a long blue banner that goes across the bottom. It goes about 1/4 of an inch up from the bottom and then centered. And then to the right here, we actually made a little pocket out of, you want to trim this guy out, and it makes a little pocket. I think I may have kids' scissors, but they'll work. Trim this out on this side. And this little pocket, I just put a little bit of glue along the bottom, just a little bit there. And then you can tuck leaves and stuff in behind it. And then this is where your judgment kind of comes in, where how many leaves you want on there. One thing that we did start with was the biggest little acorn leaf, or whatever you want to call this, acorn leaf. I started right behind here, and then I just kind of started layering out from there. There's no specific way to do it. And you can also wait until you get this part done if you want to. This side, you kind of just follow the picture and make sure, oops, I didn't get that one glued down. And just kind of do the spacing for what works for your photos. That leftover little piece that was already cut out for you goes here. Just don't glue down here if you don't have your photo in yet. Your blue piece goes about 1/4 of an inch up from the bottom. And this goes right at the top. And your 4 3 by 4 3/4. Chalk those up. I really love this orange on here. You can do them in different colors. A yellow that would be good is Desert Sun. That's kind of a vintagey looking yellow. And then you just space these out evenly across your blue paper. And the only thing you have left are your little buttons here. And the way that I did those is you just pick the color that you would like to use. So I have Deep Sea here. And what I did was just barely rub it on the top, and it gets the color just around the edge there. So that's Deep Sea, and you let it dry for a while. It takes longer to dry on wood. Here is, just barely rub it along the top. This is Mingo Bai Tai. So there is 3 buttons that go here, 3 buttons that go here, and then you just start layering your leaves. I'm going to add a little bit of color to the yellows and the white ones. The orange ones I'll probably leave because they have so much color already. But in my picture, I actually started this one here and then just started to layer around it. And once I get things how I like it, then I will go back through. Let's see, this one I put in the middle here. So there's really no specific way, rhyme or reason. You just layer these on how you want to. And once you get it like you like it, then what I do is just pick up just the ends of these so that I don't have to move them much. And I put a couple spots of glue. Pick this one up, couple spots of glue, lay it back down so that you don't have to move any of those. And then I just tuck more in wherever you can. And that's that. This is really a pretty simple kit, but beautiful for fall photos, Thanksgiving photos, family photos. I love this one because it's pretty versatile for a fall page. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you so much for being a Club Q member. We'll see you next time.